So we are saying a decision is a choice of one option from a set of options so that you can achieve a particular objective. We make decisions every single second of our lives. Even right now, being in this class is a decision you are making. You can make a decision to leave from this class here and now. That's all? Yes. So being in this class is a decision, and many other decisions that we make. And these decisions are made so that you achieve a particular objective. People telling students, I hope that you are aware of why you are in this class. Is it clear? Why you are in this class? Yes. And many others. Now, I may not again have a lot of luxury of time to get into details. So what we shall do, we shall concentrate more on computations. Where need be, we shall get to explanations. I've already sent you the notes. Some of them I will discuss as we go by and by. Others we shall. Okay. So we have 4 main types of decisions. Wale walikuwa wamesoma CVP na you done product mix. Kama hiyo limiting factor. Because I know Mitafura combines CVP with product mix. Yes, a mix. Within the hour. Brian, good morning. Okay, cool. So the first division that I want to start with, going to know like sorry, the product mix division. Now, product mix decision, as you see the notes, it is a decision you make to decide which products to produce so that you maximize. So I want us to begin with this question of December 2022. December 2022, question 2B. December 2022, question 2B. Tara, read for us. December 2022, question 2B.
The company is currently the first screen made of the market the product additional information. The fixed production cost per unit will be upon absorption rate of 20 units per direct labor hour. In total, annual production activity is 90,000 direct labor. 1/10 of the annual fixed production cost will be incurred. In addition to the above cost, non-production overhead costs are expected to be 577,500 shillings. During the period, the availability of material is expected to be limited to that of 150 liters. And the point is the policy of the limited notable inventory to finish fire concludes the shortfall in liters of material. 2, the optional production is on priority ranking, the net profit at optimal production.
Thank you, thank you. How do you know something is having a shortfall? Like now, if I tell you, Sarah, to buy for me lunch today at Saravadia, which goes for 4,500, assuming generosity, will you? Why? So what has made you to say you don't have it? You know, saying you don't have it is a result. It's actually a that thing. There are two things. Now, 1, 2, 3. That's why you have to say, no, it is what you get after you compare these two.
The money is money.
The money you have right now and what is required. When you compare, that makes you to say yes or to say no. The simple. So your mind quickly has compared it. It's only that in times of abundance, in times of abundance, the process is not denoted. But in times of scarcity, the process is quickly noted. So you come white butter, maybe in town. You are very broke. Umebakisha 150 more, which is the fair. Have you ever experienced this? The only money you have is fair. Now, if you have ever experienced this, then you should remember, immediately the class was over, kwanza unaangalia kwa mfuko whether like a 50 bob cup. Once you confirm it is there, you now walk to the bank. When you get there, you confirm that they are actually charging what? 50. Now, even before you go to the bank, unatoa hiyo 50 bob unashika kwa mkono. And you can even quickly call the makanga umwambie shika. Is after you give him the 50 bob, you are sure utafika nyumbani. Now you can afford to sleep. Still. But the day you have more than 50 bob, uko na pesa mingi kwa mfuko, more than your fare, you don't keep on checking whether it is still there. You just comfortably walk. When you get the bus stop, you already confirm that hiyo matatu inaenda kwenu. Na ukiingia hata una afford kulala mpaka makanga akuje. So hiyo ya kulala, it is an environment of what? Abundance, kona mingi. But hiyo ya kukashika na kuita makanga is an environment of what? Scarcity. So in the time of scarcity, hiyo process inaonekana. But I'm simply saying it happens whether you are in scarcity or in abundance. So by all that, I'm simply saying what we need to do to answer that question, we need to compare what we require vis-a-vis what we have, so that we say we have scarcity or we have. So the scarce resource is material Q. So analysis for material Q. Analysis for material Q. So we have details. We have by unit. Then we have total. So we start with product L. Product L, what you can see up there, you can see where we have direct material Q, it is 25 shillings per liter. And 1 unit of L has a cost of 200. So it is 200, you divide by 25. So that is, we have how many liters? Unit for all 8. 8 0. Then the number of units, you can see the maximum demand is 1,000. So times 8. That means you require what? 8,000. Then we come to product Q. Product Q, we have 250. We divide by 25. That gives us what? 10. And you can see the maximum demand for product, not Q, G, product G, not Q. Sorry. Product G. The maximum demand is 3,000. So times 10, that gives us what? 30,000. So total required, what we require, it is 38,000. Total available. Total available is tumeambiwa ni that 1,250. And therefore, the shortfall or the scarcity, it is what? 6,750. That's how you compute the shortfall. You compare what you require and what is available. Some questions will not tell you which resource is scarce. They will just give you the more than one resources and you are given their quantities. Like now hapa, so naona kuna labor hours. So you are given their quantities. So you are supposed to tell which one is scarce. How you tell which one is scarce? Unaona ni gani iko na shortfall. So kama tungekuwa tumeambiwa hivyo, hata labor tungeongeza hapa ndio tuone kama iko na shortage ama haina. From there, we prepare something else called analysis table. Analysis table. Your level, I'll just call it analysis table, but when you come to do advanced management accounting, you call it principles. Wengi mnatoroka. Don't want to do advanced management accounting. Now, the first thing that you're supposed to bring here is called contribution margin. But because this question has not worked it, it is Good Friday, good workings. So we start with selling price. So kwanza tutaipanga kuja kugawa the columns, tutapange kwa details. so that we don't split the right. So the selling price less variable cost. So the first variable cost is direct materials. Direct material. Huyo mwingine anaitwa direct materials are two. Kuna Q na kuna T. Kuna direct labor. Direct labor. Na huyu mwingine variable overhead ya tool is 40 per hour. So kuna overheads, variable overheads. Variable overheads. Variable. So what you can do, because these ones are not supposed to be part of this table. So line hapa. Ile kitu ya kwanza inastahili kuingia hapa inaitwa contribution margin. Contribution margin. Contribution margin. Then the second thing inaitwa key factor per unit. Key factor per unit. Fire with a bit of John silence. So after the key factor per unit, what tunaleta inaitwa contribution margin. Contribution per key factor. Per key factor. Alafu sasa tunaleta nyingine inaitwa rank. That is the end of that table. Na kuanga na 4 items. Contribution margin, key factor, contribution per key factor na hii nimekuwekea part of what. Sasa tukuje tuigawe. So we have product L and product G. Product L, product G. L, product G. So tuanze product, the selling price for L is 2,000. For G it is 2,100. Material Q is 200. This is 250. Material T is 400. This is 200. Labor is 280, 350. Huyu mwingine ni what? 160 na 200. I subtract, hiyo uniambie 960, 1100. Sasa hapo ndio table huwa inaanzia. Key factor is a scarce resource. It is also called the limiting factor. When we come to budgeting, we'll be calling it principal budget factor. So, the key factor ni hii material what? Q. Na per unit, L inahitaji what? 8. Na huyu mwingine anahitaji what? 10. That's 10. So we go to the next one. Next. What you do to get this contribution per key factor, unachukua hii contribution 960 divide by this. That gives you what? 120. Na huyu mwingine unachukua 1100 divide by 10. That gives you what? That gives you 110, eh? Yeah. Then you rank. You rank. To rank, yule ako na the highest contribution ya number 1. Contribution per key factor. Contribution per key factor. So this is number 1, and then it's number 2. I don't count that every time zitakuwa zinafuatana hivi. That one ndio umeweka ya kwanza ndio number 1. The issue is the highest contribution per key factor is number 1. So, toka hapo now, we draw something called allocation table or allocation section. Allocation table. Inakuanga na many columns, so you allocation table or schedule. Allocation table or schedule. So here we start with rank. Downward si kubwa sana. We have product. We have maximum demand. We have maximum demand. Then hapa hii tunagawanya hivi. We have the key factor. Units. And required. They are available. Key factor. Units made. Then we have key factor used and left or remaining. So those are the columns that we have. Have two products. Three rows, because we have three products. 1, 2, total. Actually, we not even need the total. Not need the total. Do I really need? Okay, so the argument goes like this. So number one is which product? Product L. What's the maximum demand for product L? The maximum demand for product L is what? 1,000. What is the key factor per unit? 8. So that means you require 8 times 1,000. That gives us what? 8,000. We require 8,000 liters. How many liters do we have available in total? That's 1,250. So can we afford to make the 1,000? Can we afford? Yes. That's all. Why? What we have is more than what we require. So if we can afford, then we can make all the 1,000. And in so doing, tutakuwa tumetumia what? 8,000 liters. Tutabakisha ngapi from here at 1? 23,250. Hiyo ndio itabaki. Haya. Twende now kwa product 2. Product number 2 is product 2. G. We require how many units? 3,000. Each requiring what? 10. So that means we must have with us how many liters? That now, but how many do we have? 23, 250. Ile imebakishwa na number 1 inakuwa forwarded to number 2. So can we afford? No. So if no, then we need to know with what we have, how many can we make? So the how many we can make, 23, 250, each one is taking us what? 10. So we can make 25, 23. Yes. So hiyo 23, 25, ndio inakuja. So that when tumetumia all these hours, 23, 250, na we left with what? Still. So hiyo swali ukiacha hivyo, ushajibu Roman what? Roman 2, the optimum production what? Mix. Lakini kama unataka kuwatolea a summary, break it down here. Optimum production mix or product mix. You will tell us the product and units names. Just create, we just extract a small summary. Product L, tumesema we are going to make what? 1,000. And product G, we are going to make 2,300 and yeah. So this summary you can extract, but they are not adding the value because the information you have. So if they ask you the profits, maximum profits, maximum profits, you can either give it in form of an income statement, like you do in a file, or you can give it as a line item, whereby you talk of total contribution. Total contribution, you let the fixed cost. Total contribution, you let the fixed cost. So total contribution, you get it like this. Hapa tumetengeneza 1,000. Now 1 unit kulingana na our working was giving us a contribution margin of what? 960. Multiplied by 960. Plus hii ingine tumetengeneza 23, 25. And each one is giving us a contribution of 1,100. 1,100. So hiyo ndio total contribution. Sasa hii ukikumbuka venye tumekuwa tukifanya kwa marginal cost. Hii ndio tulikuwa tunaita net contribution. Net contribution. Then you minus now the fixed cost. Tuanze kuleta the fixed cost. So the fixed cost tunaambiwa the fixed production cost per unit is based on an absorption rate of 200 per labor hour, and total annual production capacity is 90,000 direct labor hours. 1/12 of the annual fixed cost will be incurred. So we need to know the fixed overheads. And how do we know that is 200? Or rather, how do we go about it? Tumeambiwa the OER is 200. Sawa. Nataka urudi hapo juu kwa direct labor. Naona hiyo line ya direct labor. Haya, 1 hour inalipiwa pesa ngapi? 140. Ukiangalia product L iko na cost ya So hiyo ni kumaanisha ilikuwa na how many hours? 2. Sasa 2 multiplied by 200, 400, si ndio? Teremka hapo chini, can you see the fixed production cost per unit? Can you see the 400? I'm just showing you how the figures have been arrived. If we go back to product G, cost yake ni 350. So your 350, if you divide it by 140, how many hours are those? So 2.5 multiply na hiyo 200. Does it give you the 500? Yes, that's how they are. That's the meaning of that information. 1. So if you want to know the total per year, you will say it is 90,000 labor hours multiplied by 200. Nakumbuka venye tumefanya kwa kina margin. You multiply the base times the OER, inakupea the budget. Something else. I told you anytime you're dealing with the fixed, you must check whether the periods are similar. This question continues to say, or rather before I talk of that, it says, and the total annual production activity is 90. Sasa hii, this is for the whole year. And our budget, or rather our statement, we are not told it relates to, or for the year ending, the company is currently preparing its budget for the year ending at 1st December 2023. Then the cost setting for its 2 products are as follows. Then tunaambiwa 1/12 of the annual fixed production cost will be incurred. So that tells you that we are just going to factor 1/12 of this. That's what we are going to incur. So multiply this by 1 out of 12. In addition, of the above costs, non-production costs are expected to be 577 plus 577, 500. So hakuna mwingine. I hope you can see the marginal costing statement clearly. Ikiwa kwa line. The answer to my question, the audience, then quickly let's go to this one of November 2020. November 2020. November 2020, question 3B is on page 29. November 2020, question 3B. So page 29, author you can read for us.
Manufacturing firm produces three products, namely X, Y, and Z. The following information relates to the production of the three products, as the details and the variable production cost per unit. Additional information. The total fixed production cost for the three products amounted to 400,000 shillings. Labor hours are currently limited to 25,000 hours, paid at an hourly rate of 8 shillings during the production period. Information number 3, the maximum demand for products X, Y, and Z are 2,000 units, 1,800 units, and 2,000 units respectively. Require the current shortfall in labor hours as maximum demand and the optimal product mix and the resultant profit.
Thank you, that's good. So let's quickly do analysis for labor hours. Analysis for labor hours. Once again, we have details. We have units. Have the total. Kwanza na product X. Product X, you can see labor iko na 24. And tumeambiwa information 2 that 1 hour inalipa pesa ngapi? 8. So if you divide by 8, hiyo inakupea ngapi? 3 hours. Then you say 3 times, how many units do you require? The maximum demand for it? 2,000. So that means we require to have 6,000 hours with us. Let's go to Y. Y, we have 44. Divide by 8. 5.5. So 5.5 na tunataka maximum demand of what? 1,800. That gives us 9,900. Then we have Z, which is that 2. Divide by 8. How many hours? 4. Aya, sasa 4 na tunataka how many units? 3,000. So that will give us what? 12,000. So the total required is 27,900. Total available. Total available is what? 5,000. So when you subtract the difference, it's what you are calling shortfall or scarcity. It is 2,900. 2,900. Haya, kutoka hapo sasa tutengeneze the analysis. Analysis table. Tumesema hapa kuna details. So hizi details tumesema tunaleta contribution margin. So hii tutaweka wapi hizi? We'll work them out. So contribution margin, key factor per unit. Key factor per unit. Huyo mwingine tukasema anaitwa contribution per key factor. Key factor. Na huyo mwingine tukasema anaitwa rank. So we have 3 products. We have product X, Y, Z. So chukua hiyo selling price, subtract those variable costs, 3 of them. Niambie X iko na margin ya 100. Y 163. 103. Those are the contribution margins. Key factor to share compute. This is 3, this is 5.5, and this is 4. Contribution per key factor, divide 100 divided by 3, you get what? Huyo mwingine. And the last one? 25.75. Okay. Now you divide. Who is number 1? X. Oh, Y is number 2. And please don't cram that. Without was a very strong cramming power. One day you put him, what are you? Looking at my. Let's now do the allocation setting. Format ni kama tu hiyo ingine. You can quickly copy the details. Allocation schedule. Allocation table, I have rank. I have product. I have maximum demand. Then I have units. Required. Paid approved. This one is called key factor. 3. Huh? So key factor again. We have the used, and we have the left. Okay, so you can begin the analysis. So rank 1, that is the product X. The maximum demand is what? 2,000. And 1 unit inahitaji how many hours? 3. So that means you must have with us 6,000 hours. And how many do we have with us? 25,000. 25,000. So can we afford? Yes. So if we can afford, then we'll be able to make all the 2,000. Not going to metumia what? 6,000 tubakishe gapi? Tubakishe 19,000. Then we go to number 2. That is product 1. Nahitaji a maximum of what? 1,800. Na each one inahitaji what? 5.5. So total is 9,900. The available is what? 19,000. So we are able to make what? 1,800. Tukue tumetumia 9,900. Tubakishe ngapi? 9,100. Number 3. Tuna product nani? Z. Z is the maximum demand of what? 3,000. Alafu each unit inahitaji 4. So we must have with us how many hours? 12,000. But we have how many? 91. So can we afford? So if no, you say 9,100 divided by 4. You have to do it with what we have, how many units can we afford to make? 2275. And in case you divide now what the decimal, you always round down. You get decimal, round down. Hata kama imetoka 0.9. Kama imetoka 22.9. You don't tell us 23, you tell us 20. Because the third one will not be completed. Although the tell us rarely give you a decimal. there's more than one advanced level. Haya, so tukuja hapa tuseme 2275 ndio tukue tumetumia 9100 and everything has been used. So hii tutashinda extract the so straight on maximum profit. Then we got rate on a kila kitu. So X, it is 2000 and each one has a contribution of 100. Huyu mwingine ni 1800 with a contribution of 163. Huyu mwingine ni 2275 with a contribution of 123. So that is the total contribution. Fixed cost wanasema ni ngapi? Ni 400,000 eh? 400,000 at the fixed cost. So that gives you the resultant, the maximum. Hiyo hapa imetosha. Can try this one of May 2015, question 1A. May 2016, question 1A. It's talking of sales mix. Sales mix is the same thing as product mix. So hiyo tumemaliza. Let us look for the next decision. I'm not following in the order of notes. Naangalia tu pass paper ile napata ya kwanza tu hiyo. Special price. Kwa hii ya kwanza tutaandika notes, tutaandika special pricing decision. Special pricing decisions. Special pricing Now, as you see in the notes, special pricing are decisions we make when you want to respond to the so-called one-off customer. One-off customer is a customer who has never come to your shop. So they are coming for the first time. And it is very clear they will never come again. They have never come, and it's very clear they will never come again. Take a case of the estate kiosk where you buy maziwa, whatever. Now, in the neighborhood where kuna ka function, ama kesho Saturday, na harusi ama dawa, and there are some fellows who have come from the village to attend the function. And you can see the secondary school bus. So those guys are coming from the village to attend the function in the neighborhood. One of them anakuja kwa duka. That is the one-off. He has never come, and it is almost certain he will never come again because alikuwa amekuja, and he's not even related na the function. Right now, a loaf of bread is going for how much? 60. So this 60 is called the normal selling price. Now, this one-off customer, when he comes to your shop, anakuambia mimi niko na 40 shillings. How do you respond? Anataka mkate full. Very. Tamwambia aende, tamwambia aende. The customer is anataka full. Now, there are several decisions, there are several things you quickly need to make. Number one, unaangalia kama huyu mtu ni kujua na ako na pesa. You know, there are some people unaangalia hivi unaona anakaa pesa. It may be true, it may be untrue. Sio? Na mwingine unamwangalia hivi naona anakaa chini. It may be true or so quickly as a decision, as a business person, unaangalia huyu mtu anakaa pesa. Yes. So ni kutojua inamsumbua. Tunamwambia hapana. Sasa hapa mkate tunauzanga. And because wana pesa ni kutojua, they truly go, they go back to their pocket and give you what? 100. Uza, assume hii mkate ulikuwa umenunua 50 shillings. You make a profit of 50. Is it bad? Hey. I really wish I did. Is it bad? Normal price ni 60. Lakini umemwangalia hivyo ukaona anakaa pesa. Ukamwambia 100 na for sure akakuwa 100. Is it bad? Of course. Business, good. Right. The objective of any business is to make profit, and not to make profit, to maximize it. Ulifungua hiyo milango kutengeneza pesa haya. Na pesa ilikuja. So why do you want to leave it? Now that one you can do with the one-off cut. Because hata akienda baadaye agundue mkate ni 60 bob, he cannot come back. Lakini kama ni mtu anahamia hapo, unaona mizigo yake ilikuwa off-roaded. Sasa amekuja kununua mkate wa kule waendelee kuweka mizigo hapo. Kesho atagundua mkate ni what? Na atakuja complain. As much as money once paid cannot be demanded. Simtachukiana na I will not buy from you. And then the strategy used to buy hawkers. And these guys who sell to us some things in the traffic jam. Matunda imepangwa vizuri, imewekwa kwa karatasi. They look so nice. Unainunua ukiwa kwa gari. Ukifika kwa nyumba unakata, imeharibika. Ingine imeharibika. Can you go back to where that guy was? Kwa biashara huwa tunasema ukipata opportunity ya gonga kabisa. Don't be sympathetic to the customer. Rachel, gonga. Because na yeye akipata nafasi. Na yeye akipata nafasi, anagonga kabisa. How the business. Yeah. And in another one, I will tell you, don't bring emotions in business. Biashara. Surumie, jaweka biashara kurumia watu. So that is now the first scenario. The second scenario is where this person does not have money and they don't know, or they even know. Let's talk of they know that mkate ni 60 bob, lakini yako na. So what you need to do is you consider how much did you buy the bread. It's called the marginal cost. Na hii nayo wanaput kwa tunaita special price. If the special price is more or equal to the marginal cost, then you should accept. And if the special price is less than your marginal cost, you should. Kama sasa hapa, huyu tutakataa. Because mkate tulikuwa tumeipata na what? 50 na anatuofa ngapi? So we will reject. But if we had gotten it at 40 and it's giving us 40, then we should accept. That tells you the minimum price you should accept is equal to the marginal cost. You see, in a school like this one, the variable cost that a student incurs is just the cost of these past papers. These past papers and you ukipata, how much do you think they will cost? A quick figure. First. Ukiambiwa photocopy, how much would they cost? 200, eh? Let's take 200. Now, if a student was to come to Destiny day 1 semester, now say I can only afford 200 shillings for the whole semester, that student should not be turned back. And after he akubaliwe asome a whole semester. Mr. Juma asiwahi kuja kumwambia. This making sense. The minimum you accept is equal to the marginal. However, your tips right now, you're blessed by the word however. You only go for this in times of desperation. When you are very desperate, when you know you cannot get anyone else. So while your offer could not be accepted of 200 and maybe will not be accepted, by the time you come to Destiny, Destiny will not be thinking they are desperate. They will be thinking, usipolipa 21,000 na mtu mwingine anakuja. But if for sure we know hatuwezi pata mtu mwingine, unaona kama sasa hii class kwa hiyo kapata. See all these seats are vacant. Yes. So if we are sure hatutawahi pata wanafunzi wa kujaza, it will be prudent on top of you, bali wengine wakuja walipe mia. That's why when you are desperate, you are so cheap. I keep on advising people that no one ever think you are desperate. And never portray yourself as what? Go to Takunua cheap. And you know people like cheap things. And one of the desperation is when you become idle. Idle, actually, your value is can be afforded even by the devil. So they say an idle mind is the devil's what? Let no one know that you are idle. Let no one know that you are desperate. Even when you have nothing to do. Like come at time, you long weekend, mtu anakupigia si past. Kipi Naivasha. What time hata sijaenda Naivasha because you are idle. You'll be misused. But when someone gives you an offer, pretend that you are busy. Not busy all through, but pretend. And why not Sunday? Why not Monday? When you show that you're not desperate, your value goes what? So my point was, this one is only used when people are what? Are desperate. But when you're not desperate, you become expensive. And I think I also need to say, This is why in life, it's always good to look for something else to always have a plan. When you have a plan B, come expensive. But kama uko na only one plan, there are only 2 areas you should not have plans. One is matters you are God. Thou shalt not have. The Bible. Thou shalt not have a. Number 2, if you are married, you should not have another. Na huyo uko naye. But for the rest of us, one. Hii mambo mengine yote have an option. Hata hii CPA ukimaliza usikae tu na kazi. You look for something. CPA inaweza enda iombe kwamba lakini uko na driving license, uko na marketing, kanaweza fanya kazi. Even when you are working, don't just rely on that main income. Try to create a kasai hata kidogo. Mshahara wewe inachelewa, sio? Ama job inaweza sha. Look for an option, but you look for it wisely, in a way that is not interfering with the big one. Yeah. So when you have a fallback, you cannot just be mistreated. It's one of the reasons why nowadays, for men, we are not able to dictate to our wives because they also want. Isikia utaki atumie gari yako anaweza kununua yake. Isikia utaki kulipia watoto school fees anaweza. But if you are desperate, if you are whining and you have no coin, then you have to dance in the rhythm. Whatever it is. That's it. It's even in the Bible. Whoever receives or whoever borrows must dance to the rhythm of the giver. I told you one of my friends talking about when I was like the syllabus. Let me come back. So where was I? I was to say that the minimum price you accept is equal to marginal. So let's read the question. Nilikuwa nimesema the question. Okay, so let's read for us. And then let me say it is the question of April 2022, question 5B. April 2022, question 5B. On page 13. Good. So we can have analysis table. Analysis table. We have details. We have reject the offer and accept the offer. These are the two options that we have. This one of accepting the offer could be a little bit wider. So yes, the one of accepting. The column can make it a little bit wider if we have some work. The first thing that we need to do is production units. Or we can have production, specify, first of all, percentage. Percentage, if we reject the offer, we will remain at the current 50. But if we accept, we will go to 100. Then the units, they are 10,000. So hapa produce what? 20,000. So hii unaweza ifikia watu not change. Let's bring the revenue now. So the revenue, we are going to argue like this. We have the current. We have the current. So currently, I think itakuwa in millions. You tuseme it is 10 units times the selling price is what? 500, eh? So that gives us 500. On this other side, it is still 10 times 500. That is 5,000. The current unit. Then the new. The new units. That's upper. We don't have any unit because we have rejected the offer. But here, when we accept, we are going to make some more. 10. Lakini selling price, we are going to sell it at 387.5. So this will be 38.75. 38.75. To say less. Let's start with variable costs. Variable costs. So the variable costs, we have materials. We have materials. So material per unit, we are told is 1,000. These costs are totals. So they are supposed to be divided by what? kama hii ya material 1 million. So if you divide by the 10,000, that's all. Statement inasema the selling price per unit is 500. Kwa hapo. And the total costs are spot. And those are total costs for what? Naenda sentence ya kwanza, which says Wasafiri Limited produces 10,000 units per annum by employing Mariana. Let me repeat. Wasafiri Limited produces how many units? For how long? For 1 year, sindio? Which is 50% capacity. Then it continues. The selling price per unit is what? Right? And the total cost are as follows. So those total costs in nini? See the units that have been produced. That we produce how many units? So if you want to know per unit, so you get the total cost, you divide by the number of units. Sawa. Sasa hapo ukiangalia materials imeandikwa 1,000, but kuna 1,000 hapo juu. So it is 1 million. So hiyo 1 million divide by 10,000. You would do it that per unit in what? Right. So if it is namna hiyo kuja hapa. Tuseme we are producing 10 at 100. So that is the first. Tukikuja hapa, we have 2 units. We can either separate them as current and new, or we just combine, because production is production. Tofauti imekuja tu kwa selling. So instead of separating, 20. So nikiweka 20, I multiply by 100. But we are told the increased volume of purchases will reduce the material price by 2.5%. So ukitoa 2.5%, inabaki what? Tuko pamoja?
Yeah.
Inabaki hiyo. So how much is that? Haya, tuende kwa wages. Wages, again, if you argue like we have argued with material, itakuwa 200. So it is 10 times 200, that is 2,000. Lakini ukikuja where we are accepting, it is 20 times 200, then tunaambiwa according to information 4, that the wage rates will remain constant, but due to employment of new workers, there will be a drop in labor efficiency by 5% on all production. So what does that mean? When we drop efficiency, does the cost go up or down? Goes up, because it means we are taking longer produce than we were taking. So this one must be lifted up to 105. So we must multiply by 1.05. 200. Haya, tuende kwa nani mwingine? Bali ya overhead. Hiyo ya kwanza yenye inaapia na fixed overhead ni variable. It's still 100, so it is 10 times 200. So that is 2,000, 1,000. Hapa ni 20 times 200.
Yeah.
Are they talking about overhead anywhere? They will remain. Oh, it's 100, eh? Sure, 100. So even here it's 100. And it's going to mean, according to information 1. So this is 2,000 now, eh? Kuja kwa fixed overheads or fixed costs. We have overheads again. Now for the overheads, this is how it's going to be argued. It is 20 times hii itakuwa 40 ama ni 4 shillings, eh? Actually not even 20. It's supposed to be like this, eh? These 400,000, you're not even supposed to multiply. But let me put it that way so that I can show you. Now, fixed cost is called fixed because it does not change as you change the number of units. The first thing. It's called fixed because it does not change with the number of units. Number 2, fixed costs are determined at the budget level. And they remain so. Budget level is the period before you do the action. Like now, the size of this class, it was determined before you came. And based on our budget, tukaenda tukakubaliana na landlord na tukalipa ama tukakubaliana tutakuwa tunalipia hii space. When the actual has happened, when you people have come, you are now less than the space. You think tutaenda kwa landlord tumwambie kala yetu haijajaa tutalipa nusu. Lipa gapi? Capacity. So hiyo imeandikwa hapo is 400. So this is supposed to be like this. The same case here. Or in other words, if you still wanted 10 here, if you still wanted 10, this would be 10 and this is 40, so that we go back to what? And this now is 20, by 20, we go back to 4. Remember your concept? the fixed cost will be the same, irrespective of the number of what? The top. So with that now get the net profit. Yes?
There are fixed overheads and they are two other than the total profit.
Hiyo ya kwanza nilikuwa nimesema ni variable, ndio hii tulipiga. Other mistake. The net profit. Fixed costs are very dangerous. That's why we say if you are single, you should live in a single room. Irrespective of how much money you are making. The profit. That's only 600. 825. And you can see something that if you are in my QA class, I keep on telling you, the more you are, it does not necessarily mean the more profits you are making. You see here we are making more profits, but you're just doing half. Hili hapa unajua na kazi to flex. So you see those of us who are hard, we work very many hours. But our bosses, do they work as many hours? Some of them report to work at 10, and by 1 they have left to go to golf. Huko 6. Okay. So what do you advise? Should they accept or reject? Should reject. Going by what I said earlier on, going by what I said earlier on. Look at the story. You simply compare. Now nice value and cost is that. That will give us a total of what? 400. Eh? You compare with this price. With the marginal costs and is a special. Nimekwambia, if the marginal cost is more than the price, you reject. Because you are spending more than what they are giving. But if the special price is more the marginal cost or equal to the marginal cost, you should. Let me look for another question. November 2019. November 2019. Question 1B. November 2019. November 2019, 1B. Brand reports. Yes, on page that too. Page that too. We are doing November 2019. Limited makes single product for relation. It is currently operating current level of relation. Currently operating at 80% of the capacity, producing 12,000. Monthly costs at the current level of operations are 611,000. 100% capacity. Total monthly cost will be 685,000. This cost will be then per month at all levels of capacity between 80% and 60%. The customer has offered 25,000 units of the product. The customer has offered 25,000 units of the product each month at 20%. Typically, it's not that every 5 minutes that it doesn't within customer, it will buy 1 unit current well. Of product, initials and the total fixed cost per month. The current normal sales price per unit. Where the management of Indica Limited, whether the offer of the new customer. Thank you, that's good. So the first thing is to get the production capacities. So we are told 80% is what? 112,000 watts. So we need to know 100% will be how many units. As the first thing, need to know 100% to be how many. So this will be 100 times 112,000 divided by 8. 140,000 units. But 100%, that would be now you should recall that when you see total costs, it is usually a makeup of what? Plus variable costs, fixed, and which method do we use to separate? Or before you go to the method, you can mwalimu wenu alikuwa anatumia hii. Using language. Hii ni total cost, hii ni fixed cost, hii ni variable cost. So what the examiner has given us here are the total costs. But then he goes on to say that the fixed cost will remain the same. So that tells you need to separate. Which method do we use to separate? Using high-row method. That's right. High-row method ndio huwa tunatumia kuseparate. But there is your total allowance. But there is your total allowance. The total monthly cost is 611. And the total. We do not know A. And we also do not know B. But we know the units are 1, 12,000. This is at what? 80%. Which is the rule, eh? Need your rule. And then we are told it is 695,000. And hapa sasa tumejua it is when we have what? 140,000. This is at 100%. This is high. Management account. We are in a special pricing in cost forecasting. So you went back on solving these two, whereby you say subtract. So 611 minus 695. Negative 84,000. No. Na hii ingine itakuwa negative what? 28,000. B. So tell me B is what? B. Now what is B? In the variable cost per unit. That is the first answer. The variable costs per unit. Umeulizwa somewhere. That is the answer. Then naendelea unakuja hapo unatuambia 611,000 equals to A, which you do not know, plus 1112 times 3. You tell me A is what? $275. Now this 275,000 is what? It is the fixed cost per month, which had also been asked. So at that point, charge people now on 1. Now the next thing, contribution, the current normal sales price per unit in the contribution margin. So how do we go about it? We come here and say we know that contribution margin ratio is given as contribution margin, you divide by the selling price. You know that. So if they're asking us for the what? For the selling price, it means we will need contribution margin ratio multiplied by the contribution. Do we know the contribution margin ratio? Do you know the contribution margin ratio? Yes or no? It is what? Yes. See, lazima ikuwe imeandikwa contribution margin ratio. I told you earlier, while I may enjoy upper dance of very many words to mean the same thing. So naangalia ni gani inafanana na ile unajua. See, there is the word ratio. So hiyo maneno mengine wameweka wachana nayo. And I think those who I taught the early morning, hata wengine ndio wakusikia hiyo video. Now I know to indicated contribution margin ratio is also called sales profit ratio. So that is 0.6. But we do not know the contribution margin. So ukifika hapo unakwama. Hapo unakwama. Because you cannot solve one equation when you have two unknowns. Sasa unasema recall that contribution margin ratio, that's variable contribution ratio. Contribution margin ratio plus. So variable contribution ratio should be therefore 1 minus contribution margin ratio, which is 1 minus 0.6. And this is 0. What? How do we get this here? This here is variable cost to divide by the price. So based on this, it means that if we are looking for price, it will be the variable. Did I do the right thing? Here we did not do the right thing. Still, you did not so well. See, inastahili kuwa hapa kuja hapa, haikuja hapa. This one, kurudi hapa, that. Is supposed to be contribution margin divided by contribution margin. So now I'm looking for P. So P itakuja hapa na huyu akuja. Okay? So it will be V to divide by VCR. You make P the subject of that formula. So sasa V, do you know V? How much is V? 3. And our VCR is 0.4. That gives us what? 7.5. So the selling price is 7.5. Contribution margin is therefore 7.5 minus 3, which is 4.5. Umejibu hiyo swali? Hiyo ilikuwa inataka the sales price per unit and contribution per unit at that price. Advise the management of Derica on whether the offer should be accepted. So the special price. The special price is the price these guys are offering. They are saying they will buy it at what? At 20% below the normal price. So ni kumaanisha watatupea 80%. So 80% of 7.5, your price they are willing to pay us. They are willing to pay how much? 6. What is the marginal cost or the relevant costs? Marginal cost or the relevant costs. It is this one, 3 bob. And you need to check whether there will be any other cost implication. Sasa hiyo kuna something else wanasema Derica Limited estimates that for every 5 units that it sells to this customer, it will lose 1 unit of its monthly sales to its customers. For every 5. So hii itabidi tukuje hapa na tulikuwa nimeandika ili tuongezee hapa show the workings. So angalia hapa ndio review the case. For every 5 they sell, they are going to lose how much? Or they are going to lose how many units? 1 unit. Now in business, we normally say a good business person does not see human beings. You don't see customers as human beings, but you see customers as money. Like now, nikiwaangalia hivi, I'm not supposed to see you as human beings. I'm supposed to see you as what? Nikiangalia sioni sana, naona 21,000. Hii Truforta 21. Is that right? If you are a business person, you don't see, or it's advisable you don't look at your customers as human beings. You look at them as money. So when I'm here, I am not seeing you as human beings. Now I'm at 21,000. Why it is so is because, sorry, time will be that it's already 104, but just around me like 5-10 minutes money. When you look at a human being as a human being, automatically our body generates emotions. You are not. Like now the way you are looking at me, your body is generating emotions because you are. Even me, my body is generating what? Emotions, because I can see you. It is only that we do not get time to keep on telling each other how we feel when we see them. That's all. If you are not ukiniangalia hivyo, your body is generating emotions. Now these emotions are the beginning. They are the ones we call like more. Ukiniangalia saa hii, you are either liking me or disliking me. Hata mimi nikikuangalia, I'm either liking you or penye atuambianagi mimi nikikuona I like you, I like you. Or maybe at the appropriate time people say. Now this one, when it is entertained for a long time, it is what mature to be called what? And this one matures to be called what? If you love your cartoons, you are likely to understand. For example, if I love one of these readings, several of them, and I'm the one in charge of school fees, and that girl has not paid school fees, do you think that of course? Is that good for the business? When you develop a love emotion with your customer, you will charge and the business will finally go. Equally, if you develop a hate emotion, say for example, one of you tukosane kabisa for whatever reasons, and I have the powers to control who comes to destiny or who does not come, I will simply give instructions pale kwa mlango, so and so akionekana fukuza. So huyo akifukuzwa, si Brian amefukuzwa ama very lama so and so, it is 21,000 imefanya nini? So is that good for the business? That's why you hear business people saying it is business, nothing personal. So kwanza tufanye biashara. So don't bring the emotions. Don't look at persons as partners. Look at them as money. Because statistics are very, very overwhelming that no one has looked at money and developed what? But most of us, let me not say all, most of us, we look at money and develop what? So you all have money. Some of the love of money is the root of what? We love money. Money is good. And we know what we do to people that we love. We take good care of them, we wish them well, treat them well. So when you look at your customers as money, you develop an emotion called what? And you start now treating them what? Well. And when you treat them well, they remain with you and they go bring other customers. So that's why we say don't look at them as human beings, look at them as what? So back here, when we bring 5, tunapoteza 1 unit. We are not supposed to see this 1 unit. Tunastahili kuona hiyo pesa ina. So if Marcel is this class, I'm not supposed to see Martin. I'm supposed to see 21,000 in here. So how much money are we losing for 1 unit? Poor contribution. Poor happy. So for every 5 units we sell, tutapoteza what? 4.5. Na mwenye amefanya tupoteze anastahili kutulipa. It's called the opportunity cost. So nitakuja hapa niseme 4.5 divided by 5. Because hizi tano ndio zime cost loss ya 4.5. Eh? So 1 inaleta 0.9. So this must be 3 point what? Itakuwa 3.9. So when you compare the two, what is the advice? What is the division? What do you advise? Should we accept or we should reject? Because the special price is more than the marginal cost. should accept. Should accept. So that is how it's argued. Now time is over. With half past 50% of my target for today. Because we have 4 divisions, we are at 2. So we have another one called make or buy and one called drop or take. So I'll be able to finish today. That was being ambitious. So we then have to call it a lesson at that point. I had earlier on said I'll talk to Mr. Dan. To one come and give me the lesson tomorrow. I've not yet talked to him. I'll talk to him after this. So whatever decision we shall agree with him, I'll let you whether we shall have a day. 6:15. I had earlier on said the one for Monday remains. And I'm now thinking you may also have another one for Sunday. Kwa kichwa yangu nilikuwa nafikiria by Monday tumalize. Remember that would be too much. Sunday. Are we okay? Tukipia marathon mpaka Monday ndio at least tukue tumemaliza hii syllabus. Because tukipatana kesho to hiyo first lesson na do the 2 decisions mebaki. The second lesson I introduce budgets, siwezi maliza. Then on Monday, the first lesson to manage the budgets. The second lesson to answer variances. Then Wednesday morning, God willing, manage the variances. So maybe the earliest you can finish Wednesday. Mehesabu ya Sunday. Nimesema kesho we finish decision, we start budget. So Sunday tukuje tufanye double. First lesson is budget. Second lesson, it's possible that we finish Monday. We at least look at that 1 week and the other weekend. Yeah. So let's target that. Sunday. Sunday, I would prefer we do from 6:15 or 6:30 to 10. So thank you so much. Yeah, Ida is okay with that. So thank you. So I'll send a message regarding tomorrow. But others prepare, nitachukua 8:30. Because 8:30 I'm free. Siponipea hiyo yake kama constraint.